Hello. 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 Am I audible to you now? Okay. So, so today we'll be concentrating on a stack. Okay. The file handling exercises that are all these exercises, print the lines from the file, capitalize and all these things. Okay. All has been uploaded on the chalkpad. Kindly go through that particular example, run it out over there. Initially, we had some issues in the server that has been solved. So you can start solving those particular questions out over there. The solutions are there uploaded on the chalkpad. Today itself I have uploaded. Okay. So first you try yourself solving this particular question. Okay. In case you get stuck over there, have a look at that particular solution and try to complete it out over there. Okay. In case you have any doubt on any of the particular question, you can ask me on Tuesday. So let's start with something called as a stack. Okay. I hope the screen is visible to you. Yeah, it is a code question screen out over here. A stack is a data structure, okay, which allows a last in, first out mechanism. That means if I have an array in which the contents have been placed as 1, 2, 3, 4, then the element that will be displayed from the stack will be in the opposite direction. That will be 4, 3, 2, 1. So, for example, when you're going in the mess and having the food out over there is a stack of plates out over there. So you normally will pick up the topmost plate out over there. Okay. Now this particular data structure, that is stack, has got two operations, main two operations, push and pop. The push indicates we are placing an element in the stack, and the pop indicates we are removing an element from the stack out over there. Okay. So for example, if you have pushed the elements A, B, C, D, E, okay, kindly have a look at this horizontal representation. If I have in the stack A, B, C, D, E, okay, so the pop element will be E, D, C, B, and A. Now there is quite a lot of applications that can be done, but that are mostly restricted to the data structure. So when you'll be learning the data structure, you'll be learning the stacks in detail. Right now, the scope of this class is we should be explaining the concept with arrays into consideration. Ideally, in real life, we don't use an array. We use something called as a linked list. Okay, we use something called as a linked list, which will be learned in the data structure. But I will try my best to basically introduce this particular concept with little bit of a data structure out over here. So kindly understand the scope of this lecture will be implementing a stack using an array, not using a linked list, because it needs a concept called as self-referential structure and so on, which will be ideally done either in C++ or Java. Okay. So coming back to you, I told you that stack is a LIFO data structure. It means last in, first out. To illustrate the concept, okay, I'll be taking this particular example, which is there on code quotient. Okay, instead of size as 10, I'll be taking a size as 3, and I'll make certain modifications in the main, and I will explain the concept so that you get all the error messages along with the push and pop operation visualization. Okay, so I'll be taking the same examples and giving you the dry run of it in an online compiler. Just a moment, let me open an online compiler for you. And I hope you are in a position to see the online compiler. Yeah. Okay, so let me start explaining this particular program. Okay, I will start from the main out over there so that it is clear how the operations are being executed. As I said, a stack consists of two main operations. One is push, another is pop. What will push do? Push will add an element and pop will remove the element. But that element will be the topmost element which will be removed. So let's see the operation called as push. Okay, so we are saying push the element 10. So let's understand right from the beginning what is the size of an array. The size has been taken as a 3. Okay, so for that I have done hash defined size as 3. So in code quotient it is taken as 10, but to illustrate it, so I have taken it as a 3. So I declared a global variable called as stack. Stack is an array whose size is 3, and we have a variable called as top whose initial value is -1. Okay, whose initial value is -1. Remember. So now when we give the command push 10, the control will go to the push function. Yeah, here we have the push function. So what is the item being received? It is 10. How you know? Because this is the element we are pushing. So control comes over here to the push and the item is 10. Now before we add an element in an array, we should check whether it is full or not, right? So what I normally do is I will write that functionality whether that array is full or not in another function, and that function will be is full. Okay, so the convention says that to check whether the array is full or not should be put in a separate function. So for that I will call a isFull function. So let's go to the isFull function over here. Okay, have a look at this particular code. Now what does isFull indicate? It should give me 1 or 0 based on the comparison. What I'm comparing? I'm comparing the value of top along with size -1. Okay, so what is the value of size? Size of an array is 3. Why -1? Because to offset the 0 index. Because what will be the index of the first element? 0. What will be the index of the last element? 2. Because the size of an array is 3. So I have taken size -1. Okay. What is the value of top initially? It is -1. It is -1. Kindly note, I have not taken it as 0. I have taken it as -1. Is -1 equal to size -1, which is 3 -1, which is 2? No. Top is -1, size is 2. So the condition is false. So what it should return? It should return a 0 because my return type is int. So it will return a value 0. So that comes over here to this particular line in the if case. And in the if case, we learned that 0 will be taken as false, any other value will be taken as a true. So in this case, it returns a 0. So if will receive zeros. If it is 0, that means this is false. If this is false, it won't execute this. That means it won't execute overflow message. What will happen? This will be bypassed. So it will come over here. What is item? I said we are pushing the value 10. So item was 10. So what will happen? You will get a message 10 is pushed on the stack. You'll get a message 10 is pushed on the stack. And then I'm saying, see, right now I'm only displaying the message. I have not put the element in an array. So how I can put an element in an array? I say name of an array is stack. Okay, plus plus top. What is plus plus top? Initially it was -1. So plus plus top made it as 0. So at the 0th position, now this item was placed. That means because of this, what has happened? At the 0th position, I have added 10. How we know it is a 0th position? Because top was initially -1. So what happened? This was bypassed because isFull return 0. So we came over here and displayed 10 is pushed on the stack, only for our understanding. Then this item which was 10 was pushed into 0th position. Why 0? Because plus plus top now changed the value from -1 to 0. So at the 0th position, 10 was added. And then it displayed top is now, what should be top now? Initially it was -1. Over here it is 0. Okay. So this was the first call. Now let's say we have said push 20. So control comes back over here. What is the item? Now it is 20. Again, it will make a call to is full. Now what is is full? Control comes to the function which should return either 0 or 1. What is stop? Remember, now it is not -1, but because of this particular line, it was 0 over here. Okay, so it was 0. So now this will be 0. What is size? 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So is 0 matching with 2? No, it is not matching. So what should happen? It should return 0. So control comes over here. It will be is full will be false. So it won't execute this particular part. Now it will say 20 is being pushed on the stack. Why 20? Because my next call was this particular line 20. So what should happen now? It will display 20 is pushed on the stack. Now plus plus top. Now what is plus plus top? Previously it was 0. So now it will be 1. Remember. Okay. And which item I am placing now? I am placing 20. Why 20? Because this was the call over here. So now what should happen? It should come over here and place 20. Okay. Then then we say push 30. Okay. Then we say push 30. So when this call is given, okay, control will come here. Item is again 30. Is full now will come over here. What is the top? Remember, it was 1. Is 1 equal to 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2? No. So this will return false. So what will happen? This won't be executed. Now what it will display? 30 is pushed on the stack. What was the last value of top? It was 1. Now it will be 2. So at the second location, what we are placing? We are placing 30. And what will be the value of top? It will be 2. It will be 2 because of this plus plus top. Now what is the next line? Next line I am saying push 40. Remember that my array is having the size as 3. Now I am saying push the value 40. Okay. So now I'm going to pause, or I want you to have a look at it for a minute and check out what will happen. Okay. So I'm pausing this for 1 minute. I want you to go through is full and push and tell me what will happen. Okay. So let's understand. So my size of an array was 3. I pushed 10, 20, 30. Now I'm trying to push 40. Okay, so let's see what happens in the push. What is the value of item? It is 40. Control will come to is full. In the is full, what is the value of top? What was the last value? It was 2. So now top is 2. What is size? 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Is 2 equal to 2? Yes. So what it should return? It should return true. True means 1. So it will return true. So this will be true. Since this will be true, what you should get? You should get overflow. You should get overflow. That means the item shouldn't be added now. Rather, it should display you have overflowed the array. So return -1. So return -1. What is the return value? We are simply ignoring it. We are simply ignoring it. See, I just added 10, 20, 30. Return 40 give me -1, which I am not displaying because the error message is displayed over here itself. Okay. Now, kindly note 10, 20, 30 was added. 40 couldn't be added because it was the overflow. Okay. Now let's understand what is the significance of this particular line. This line. Temp is equal to pop. Now, what did I tell you about the pop? Pop is the operation which should be in a position to remove the topmost element. Okay. So let's see what the topmost, how does the pop function work? As I explained in the previous, as I explained just now, before we push an element, we should check whether it is full or not. Similarly, in the pop, before we remove the topmost element and display it for you, you should check whether it is empty or not. That means whether underflow has occurred or not. So the first thing we do is we check for the underflow. How do we check it? We make a call to isEmpty. Okay, so we come to isEmpty. Where is isEmpty? Over here. What was the last value of top? You remember top was nothing but a 2 because we had an array of 3 elements. The index were 0, 1 and 2. So the index was 2. The top was 2. Is top equal to minus 1? No. So what will happen? It will give me, it will return false. That means it will return 0. So what will happen in the pop? In the pop, this will be false. Since it is false, what will happen? This will not be executed. If this is not executed, let's see what happens. It will come to this particular line. What is stack? Name of an array. What is top? 2. Is it pre or post? It is a post decrement. So at the second location, what I have? At the second location, I have 30. Okay, at the second location, I have 30. So that 30 will be assigned to temp. That 30 will be assigned to temp. Okay, so it will display percentage %d pop from stack. That is 30 is pop from stack. And what is the value of top now? Because of the post decrement, okay, the top was 2. Now because of the post decrement, now it is 1. Now it is 1. That means how does the pop function work? It will first check for the underflow, pick up the element at that particular index position, display that particular condition, and then decrement the value of top. So top was now reduce the value from 2 to 1. Remember. So it will display 30 is pop from the stack and top is now 1. Okay. So in my stack now, actually, how many elements are there? We have the elements 10 and 20. We don't have 30. Okay. Ideally, we have only 10 and 20. See, it has not vanished from the array. What we have done, we just simulated that particular operation. Okay. The 30 is still there, but we have simulated saying that this is my top position out of here. Kindly understand this. In my array, I had 10, 20, 30. What I did because of the pop, 30 was removed from the array. Okay. Now, kindly understand this particular operation now. Push 50. Okay. Before we start 50, let me tell you. At the 0th position, what we have? At the 0th position, we have 10. At the first position, what I have? 20. What was the value of top? It was 1. Remember, it was 1 because of this particular statement. Okay, I removed the 30. So because of that, top was reduced by 1 from 2 to 1. So when I again make a call to push 50, control comes to push. Again, it will check whether it is full or not. What was the value of top? It was 1. Sorry, over here. It was 1. Is it equal to 2? No. So it will return false. So this will be skipped. Control will come over here and it will display this element is being pushed. Okay. So it will display 50 is being pushed on the stack. Plus top now make it from 1 to 2. See over here it was 1 because of the last operation. So now what will happen? The plus will make it 2. So at the second location now what I will have? I will have, instead of 30, I will have 50. And the top position which was 1 because of this particular plus top is now 2. Is now 2. Remember, we have now 10, 20 and 50. Now let me call the pop operation again. Let me call the pop operation. Before we actually make a call to pop, remember that top is 2. Top is 2. I'll remove this. Because of the push operation, top was 2. So let's go to the pop operation. Is empty. What is empty? It is equal to 2 is to equal to minus 1. No. So what will happen? It will return 0. It will return false. This won't be executed. Temp is equal to stack top minus minus. It is a pre or post. It is a post. So it will pick up that value. What was that value? It was 50 because in the stack we have 10, 20, 50. So temp is now 50. So what will be displayed over here? It will be 50. Okay. And what is the value of top now? Top, because of the post decrement, should decrease from 2 to 1. Okay. Now again, I'm making a call to the pop. Okay. So control comes to pop. Temp will again be called. What is the value of now is empty? Top is now 1. Is it equal to minus 1? No. Again, it will return 0. Again, this will be false. Okay. Temp will now be equal to stack top minus minus. At the first location, what I have? I have 20. So now it will display 20. So now what will be popped from the stack? 20 will be popped. And because of this minus minus, now top becomes 0. Now top becomes 0. Okay. Now have a look at the third one. Temp is equal to pop. Again it is called. Again control comes to pop. Again it will go to is empty. Remember top is 0. So is empty will again come over here. What is the value of top? 0. Is it equal to minus 1? No, it is not equal to minus 1. So what should happen? This should be false. Okay. So at the 0th position, what I have? I have 10. So that will be stored. Okay. Percentage D pop from the stack should give me 10. Top is now, because of the minus minus, it will be now minus 1. Okay. It will be minus 1. Now, when I again try to make a call, let's see. There were only 3 elements. We are trying to make a call pop 4 times. Okay. So now control comes over here. It will go to the is empty. In the is empty, what is top? Minus 1. Is minus 1 equal to minus 1? Yes. It will return true. If it is true, what will happen? This will be true. It will return underflow and it will give me minus 1. It will give me minus 1. So what we learned in this particular example was how to use push and a pop operation by taking help of the logic for is full and is empty. So let me just run the program for you. Okay. Now this particular output I have copied over here so that it will be easy for you to relate. So let's try to understand this. What does push 10 did? It displayed 10 is pushed at the stack and the top was 0. Perfectly fine. Then I said push 20. So 20 was pushed on the stack and the top is now 1. Then I pushed a value 30. So 30 was pushed in the stack and the top is now 2. I tried to push a 40. This should give me overflow condition. Yes, it gave me an overflow condition because we have an array with only 3 elements. We are trying to push 4 elements. When we try to push the 4th element, it gave me an overflow. Okay. Then what we did, we popped one particular element. So what was the last element we pushed? We pushed 30. So that should be out. So 30 will be popped from the stack. Yes, 30 is popped from the stack. Okay. Now since 30 is popped from the stack, the value of the top was reduced by 1. So from 2 it became 1. So top is 1. Then we push the value 50. Okay. So that means now in the stack 10, 20 and 50 will be there. So what happens is 50 is pushed in the stack and the top was incremented by 1. So it became from 1, it became 2. Now when I make a call to the temp 3 times over here, what should happen? It should say 30 is popped, sorry, 50 is popped from the stack because now the sequence was 10, 20 and 50. So 50 is popped from the stack and the top of the element is now 1. Then it should say 20 is popped from the stack and the top is 0. 10 is popped from the stack and now the top is minus 1. So when I try to make a fourth call over here, temp is equal to pop, what will happen? It will give me minus 1. Okay. If you look over here, I said temp is equal to pop. If you want, you can display the value of the temp over here. We can remove that percentage D is top from the stack from this particular line and we can place it over here. Or ideally what we can do, we can only not use the temp value. As in this example, I'm not displaying anything because display is already done over here. If you want, we can make this as a comment and display it over here and display it over here. So that's why I have declared a variable as temp which could be displayed using a cout. Okay. So that was an example about the functionality of stack. So let me again go back to code quotient screen. Yeah. So this was the example. I illustrated it with the size as 3 because I wanted to show you the overflow and underflow command out over there. Let's go to the next slide. Let's see what it is. The following sequence of operations are performed on a stack. Push 10, push 20, pop, push 10, push 20, pop, 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 push 20 and pop. The sequence of the values that will be popped out is they are asking what should be the output over here. They are asking what should be the output. So what do you think should be the output? So how to solve this? See, for example, you can have a notepad with you. Okay. So now push the first two elements. So in my stack, what should be there? It should be 10 and 20. Okay. Now when we say pop, what is the first element that will be removed? That will be the topmost element. What is the topmost element? 20. Okay. So 20 will be my first element, remember. But in my stack, 10 is still there because I pushed 10 and 20, then I said pop. So 10 is still there. Okay. So now what should happen? I'm pushing how many values? I'm pushing 10 and 20. So in my stack now, I have the original 10 and this 10 and 20 are being pushed. 10 and 20 are being pushed. Now we have three consecutive pop, pop, pop and pop. So what should happen? It should remove these three elements in the other way around. That is 20, 10 and 10. 20, 10 and 10. So now the original one I removed was 20. The next three removed was 20, 10 and 10. So 20, 20, 10 and 10. So this was the sequence in which it was removed. After that, what they did was, right now, what is the element of sequence which has been removed from the stack? 20, 20, 10, 10. Okay. Then what they did, they removed the last element. No, they pushed one last element that was 20. And then again, they popped it out. So now what should happen? It should be 20 at the end. So if you look it over here, the answer should be, the sequence should be 20, 20, 10, 10, 20. 20, 20, 10, 10, 20. Let's click this. Yes. Let's have a look over this. What will be the sequence of letter popped when they pushed on an empty stack as below? Here a letter means push and the star means pop. So what it says is any alphabet should be taken or should be treated as a push, and star should be treated as pop. Okay. So let's try to solve this. So right now, how many elements are pushing? C, O, D. Three alphabets we have pushed. Now what is star do? Star will remove the topmost element. So let me write this. So pop should give me D and it should be removed from the stack. It should be removed from the stack. Okay. Because star removed the D. So I'm writing it down so that I can check the answer. Okay. Then what happened? Then they added E. Okay. Then there were two stars. Because of the two stars now, the sequence that will be popped out will be E and then O. So I'll remove this. Then I'm pushing Q, U, O. Q, U, O. Okay. Then there are three stars being there. Since there are three stars over here, I will have to write O, U, and Q. And I will remove this O, U, and Q. Then what I am doing out over there? Then I am adding T and I. T and I. And then how many stars I have? Three stars. That means everything they are removing. I, T, and C. So I'll remove that. I. Then what they are adding? They are adding E. And immediately they are removing it by using a star. So here now what I will write? I will write E. Okay. E was removed. Nothing is there. Now they are adding N. Sorry. N and T. So now they are using two star to remove T and N. Okay. So the sequence we should get is something like this. We should get D, E, O, O, U, Q, I, T, C, E, T, N. Okay. Similarly, I'm giving you 2 minutes to write down the code for the second and the third one. So I hope you must have found the answer for this. Let's try it out. So first, what they are doing, they are adding this code. Okay. So then they are saying E. One moment. Let me just click on submit. Okay. So the first four letters are C, O, D, E. So it should be E, D, O, C. Then because this four were pushed and this four was popping the element. Okay. Then you are adding three. So it was Q, U, O. So then we put a three star. So it became O, U, Q. Fair enough. Then we said TI. Immediately there were two stars. So it became IT. Then it was En, this two star made it Ne. Then it was T star, it made it as T. Okay. So then we have something called as a code quotient out over here. CO was pushed. So it, because of the two star, it was removed. So it became OC. DE was pushed, then there was to start, so it became ED. QUO was added, and then it was only a single star, so only O was removed. Okay, QU is still there. Then I added TI, then I added TI, then the 2 star removed that IT, so we got IT. Okay, then we had E, so E was added, then we had 3 star, so E was removed, U and Q were removed. Then we added NT, and then TN was removed. Okay, mostly useful from the MCQ point of view. The integers 1, 2, 3, 4 are pushed into the stack in that order. They may be popped out of the stack in any valid order. The integers are popped out, produce a permutation of the number 1, 2, 3, 4. So what they are saying is you can have push and pop in any operations out over there. So if that is the case, which one should be the valid one? Okay, so let's check this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are pushed in the stack. So the sequence of output 1, 2, 3, 4, is it possible? Let's see. If I say push 1 and immediately if I say pop, what should happen? I should get 1. Then if I say push 2 and give a pop, what should happen? I should get 2. So if I say push 3 and then a pop, then what should happen? I should get 3. Similarly, push 4 and then I should give a pop. What should happen? It should give me 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a valid one. Okay. The next case is 4, 3, 2, 1. This is quite straightforward. You simply say push 1, push 2, push 3, push 4. So right now what are in stack? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we have to do, we simply have to say pop, 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 pop. So what will this do? This will remove 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now 4, 2, 3, 1. So if I give a pop, what should happen? 4 should be removed. Then if I give a pop, what should happen? 3 should be removed. But then what they are doing? They are giving an illegal sequence called as 2. So that is not possible. First we'll have to remove 3, then only I can remove the 2. So 4, 2, 3, 1 is invalid. But let me check the fourth one before I jump to the conclusion. We have 3, 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. So let's add 1, 2, 3. So let's have push 1, push 2, and push 3. Then let's have pop. So when I say pop, what I will get? I'll get 3. Again, when I give a pop, what should I get? I should get 2. So right now, what is there in the stack? It is 1. Okay. Now let me say push 4. So when I say push 4, what should happen? It should be 1 and 4 in the stack. So now when I give pop, what should happen? 4 should come out. When I give a pop, what should happen? 1 should come out. So now I have 3241 also as valid. The question is, can never be produced. So the answer is 4231. Okay, similar to this, if you have 6 stack operations for pushing and popping each of A, B, and C, such that push A must occur before push B and push B must occur before push C, which of the following order could not be the order of the pop operation? Similar, instead of taking the numbers, what they had done, they have used A, B, and C. They have used A, B, and C. Let's see how we can solve this out. Okay. A, B, C. Okay. So what we are pushing? We are pushing A, B, C. So I will say push A and immediately pop. So I should get A. Similarly, push B and pop. I should get B. Similarly, push C and pop. I should get A, B, C. The second one is CBA. So if I say push A, push B, and push C, valid one. If I say pop, 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 I should get CBA. Push A, push B, and push C. BAC. Let me check. Push A, push B. Okay. So now if I say pop, what should happen? B should be removed, then A should be removed. Then I will say push C, and then I will say pop. So I can get BAC. That's fair enough. And then finally I have CAB. So I will have to first say push A, push B, and push C. Pop will give me C, but the next pop will give me B. So what it is giving me? A. So this should be the illegal one. What does the following pseudocode function do? Push, pop, and isEmpty are the operation on the stack, and they have given something like void do something int n greater than 0, push n percentage to n is equal to n divided by 2 while not is empty, print pop. Okay, so what we are doing? We are doing a divide by 2 operation. Okay, then the remainder. Okay, and then divide by 2 again, and then divide by 2. So to understand this concept, let's take a number. Okay, let's assume the number it receives is 10. The number it receives is 10. Okay, so do something function is receiving the number as 10. While 10 greater than 0, yes, it is greater than 0. What we are pushing? N percentage 2. That means 10 percentage 2 should give me something like 0. When you divide 10 by 2, the remainder is 0. So that is pushed. So I get 0. Okay. N is equal to n divided by 2 gives me 5. Is 5 greater than 0? Yes. When you divide 5 by 2, what we get? We get the remainder as 1. Okay. So we are pushing that particular one. Then we say n is equal to n divided by 2. Okay. So 5 divided by 2 gives me 2. Is 2 greater than 0? Yes. When you push 2 percentage to what I get 0. So I'm pushing 0 now. N is equal to n divided by 2 makes it 1. Is 1 greater than 0? Yes. When we push 1 percentage to what I'm doing, I'm pushing 1. Sorry. When you say 1 upon 2, what I get n as 0. So the while loop is false. Then what it is saying is while not is empty, you have to pop. That means the element that was pushed in the stack was 1 0 1 0 1. Remember, the element that was pushed in the stack was 0 1 0 1. Okay. Now the pop operation will take place in the other way around. That means I should get first 1, then 0, then 1, and then 0. That means when I do the pop operation, I should get 1 0 1 0. If you try to convert it again, it will be 2 raised to 1 plus 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 0 will be 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, and 2 raised to 3. So 2 raised to 3 will be 8 plus 2 raised to 1 will be 2. 8 plus 2 should give me 10. So what it is giving me? It is giving me the binary representation of the n. The binary representation of the n. Okay. Let's try to understand this coding question. Implement the stack using array. Okay. The first line of input contains an integer q denoting the number of queries. A query is of two types. Okay. One, item, that is a query of this type means push item onto the stack. Okay. So what it says that when we are adding some elements in an array, if it is 1, it means we are adding the element. And if it is 2, it means we are popping the element. We are popping the element. Okay. The output of each test case will be the space separated integers having -1 if the stack is empty, else elements will be popped. Okay, so empty will be -1. Let's first understand this how we get this particular output. The sample input is 8. 8 is nothing but the size of an array, I guess. Then they are saying 1 3 2 1 4 1 2 2 1 6 2 2. So we know from the question that 1 indicates a push and 2 indicates the pop. So when I say 1 3, it means push the element in the stack. push the element in the stack. But which element? The element immediately after 1. 1 means carry out the push operation with the next element. So 3 was pushed in the stack. Then there was a 2. Then there was a 2. Now what does 2 indicate? It indicates the pop. So what should happen? My first line of output should be 3 because we have popped it out. Then the next element is 1, 4. 1 means push. So now what I am doing? I am pushing the element 4. Then again we have 1, 2. So we are again adding the element 2 over here. We are adding the element 2. Kindly remember 1 for 1, 2 indicates 1 is for pushing. So we pushed how many elements? 4. Then again it's a push 1 because 1 indicates push. So we push the second element, that is 2. Then I have something called as a 2. That means right now in my stack, which is having 4 and 2, what should happen? The element should be popped. Which element? The last element. What was the last element? 2. So what I will get? I will get 2. I will get 2. Then there is 1, 6. That means I need to push. I need to push which element? 6. So now what is pushed in the stack? 6 is pushed in the stack. Okay. Then I'm having 2. 2 means I should remove the topmost element. What was the topmost element? 6. What was the topmost element? 6. And then again I should remove the remaining element. What was the remaining element in the stack? It was 4. The 4 was never touched, so that will be removed from it. So if you look at this particular question, okay, 1 indicates you want to push the remaining, we want to push the next element, not the remaining element, the next element. So again, if I explain, 1, 3 means push the 3, 2 means remove 2, 1, 4 means push the 4, 1, 2 means push the 2, again 2 means remove the topmost element, which was 2, 1, 6 means push 6, 2 means remove 6, 2 means remove the remaining element, which was 4. Hence, we get the output as 3264 as illustrated in this particular explanation. Okay, as illustrated in the particular explanation. Now, what they are saying is kindly implement the isFull. Okay, kindly implement the isFull, isEmpty, push, and the pop. We already done this, right? We already done it in the first example. The same code I had to copy. For example, for isFull, what I had to do? Top is equal to size minus 1. For isEmpty, top is equal to minus 1. For push, the same condition. And for pop, okay, the same which we had discussed. Let's try to execute and see whether it is running or not. Yes, it runs. So whatever we have learned, the same functionality they have told us to implement. Okay, isFull, isEmpty, isFull I'm calling in the push, and isEmpty I'm calling in the pop. Reverse a string using a stack. Given a string, your task is to reverse it using a stack. Okay, let's first try to understand the question. The first line of input will contain an integer t denoting the number of test cases. Okay, then t test cases follows. Each test case contains a string s without spaces. Without spaces. Okay. The function void reverse string takes string as the input and returns the reverse string using the stack provided. Okay. The first line of input contains t denoting number of test cases. Each test contains a string s without spaces. They missed out one particular detail. For each test cases, you have to accept the number of strings you are going to accept. If it is 2, then it will be code quotient and code. And what we are supposed to do, this reverse string should be in a position to reverse this as well as this using which operation? Push and pop. Okay. That means to run this, first we should be knowing the main. Okay. Let me just explain this to you. What they have done is they have done something like this. What did they say? Let me just explain. Okay. I hope my online compiler screen is visible to you. Okay. So what, in case of reversing a string, okay, in case of reversing the string, first thing is we have to accept the number of test cases. Okay. So that is pretty much sure. That is pretty much easy. Then I said top is equal to -1. They said character S1 is size. Size was 10 or 20, whatever it is. Okay. Then character star S is equal to ampersand S1 because the reverse string they are placing it in S. That's why they have done it. And that S will be nothing but storing the address of this particular array, which is S1. And 0th element means the base address. Then what they did, they accepted n. N could be anything. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be anything. And that many strings they are accepting. That means if I enter test case as 1 and this as 2, it means for one test case you are accepting 2 string. Accept the first string, then write some code in the reverse string which will reverse the string, display it. Then reduce n by 1, accept the next string, make a call to the reverse string. Reverse should reverse the string. Okay, kindly note that you have to use push and pop operation. You have to use push and pop operation. It is very straightforward. We have to go to the end and then just pop the element, and that has to be stored in the array. Okay, so that is the funda we are going to use. But this was about the main. That means this is to handle the test cases. This is to handle the number of strings. Clear? So let's see what logic we have to use in the reverse string. So what does the prototype says? The prototype says that character star reversing character star S. It means it is receiving a pointer. That means it is receiving a base address. The base address is of the array. How you know it is of the array? Because of this line. So what I am doing, I am accepting a string. If I accepted a string as ABC, that base address will be captured in S. Okay. So remember, this S is pointing to ABC, base address. Then what I do over here, let's try to understand. While star of S plus I, that means go to the base address, I is 0. If it is not equal to \0, then what we have to do? We have to push star S plus I. That means we are pushing this in S. Okay, we are pushing this in S. So this will continuously push the characters ABC into that particular array. Once this has been done, once we have reached a null character, what we should do? We again set I is equal to 0. We again set I is equal to 0. And we say while star S plus I not equal to null, we should pop that particular element. We should pop that particular element. Okay. We should pop that particular element. And then I am incrementing the value of I and it should be returned. So if I do the dry run of this, test case is 1, number of strings is 3, The first string is ABC. The second, it immediately reverses. We got CBA because of the push and pop operation. Okay. Then the second is XYZA. So I should get AZYX, AZYX. Third was ABCD, and it should give me DCBA. Okay. So kindly, I want you to go through this particular reverse string function in which I am using a push function and a pop function to understand what it does. Kindly note, push and pop are the function which should retrieve the characters, similar to what we have learnt in the previous example. Okay. So your task is only to write the code for the reverse string. You don't have to write the code for push and pop. It is already given. And main was something I designed it so that you understand how it is actually running. Okay. So you try this out. I'll be uploading the entire document of today's code quotient on the chalkpad. Kindly go through this and complete this particular module out over here. Okay. So if I basically copy it, one moment. And place it over here. And if I execute it, let's see whether it works or not. Yes, it works. So these were the details. In the case, what it was? 3. Then I entered 1. It was code quotient. Okay. Then 0 and 2. So code quotient, expected output it gave me. Okay. 0 string, so nothing was accepted. See, 3 is a number of test cases. 1 indicates that one string I have entered. Okay, so it was code quotient. Okay, so it reverses it. If you look at the output, this is the output we got. Okay. In the next case, what he did, second test case, that means T is 2. He said 0. Now 0 means what? No string entered, so no output out over here. Okay. Then they said 2. Now what is 2 out over here? 2 means 2 strings, that is code quotient and quotient code out over here. So it reverse it and displayed it out. Okay, so this was the sample output over here. So I'll upload this document, the entire document which I have covered today on the chalkpad. File handling examples are already uploaded on the chalkpad, the exercise one. Kindly go through it. In the next session, I'll be starting with Q. If possible, please read it and come so that it will be positioned to deal with it in a much more comfortable manner. Okay, so I'll be winding up my session now. Okay, the video recording will be available in the evening. Some of the student has said that the video recording of the file is not available. I'll have a look at it. Okay, so Tuesday again we are meeting with the Q topic over here. Okay, bye bye.